Happy 2018.
Sorry, I'm like joking around as I usually do. Hello, everyone. Happy 2018.
We're coming to you live from Melbourne, Australia.
We're in our backyard, which has been amazing. One thing I've realized for Airbnbs is that we love having private enclosed outdoor space. It's just super awesome to the little kids run around, come out and do yoga, all that sort of fun stuff. So now we're here also making a video for you guys.
Yeah. So today is New Year's Day in Australia, and it means
We're
that
one day ahead of you. Hello from the future.
if you're in the US.
Right.
If you're in Australia, you're right here with us. So anyways, we wanted to make a quick video to, well, first of all, wish you all a Happy New Year, but also to invite you into one of our practices. Last night we celebrated New Year in a way that was different for both of us. It was very quiet and calm and peaceful, and it wasn't the big party, and it was just perfect for us.
And it's super connected too.
Yeah,
It was quiet, not quiet like we read books, but just like quiet, like really intentionally quiet, sitting in that quiet stillness that's also fullness, you know? And it's really beautiful to cultivate that, to end the year and to begin a new one. And yeah.
So I asked Jamin, after he led me through this really beautiful exercise, if we could share it with all of you, because I think that this might be a really amazing way for you to consider starting your new year.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. I use this with all my clients. It's something that I've done through the men's work that I've been a part of. If you don't know what men's work is, email me, let's talk. It's life-changing. It's brought a lot of the work I've done in men's work has brought me to this place. So
His
can't say
email
enough
is
about it.
thelifeofand@gmail.com.
Right. Yeah. And so I do this with my clients, and we just thought, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just share it with everybody because, really what we are trying to teach, what we want the world to adopt, the kind of world we want our kids to grow up in, is where people have what we call the abundance mindset, which is the opposite of a scarcity mindset. And I kind of grew up in a little bit of that scarcity mindset of like, next bill or next dollar or things like that, and now we live this life of where we get to travel and be parents full time and do work that we love and still pay the bills and all that. And so we call that the abundance mindset. It's a life of mindset. And it all begins by being able to put intention into what it is that you want for the next year. And so Ari and I spent an hour and a half or so yesterday doing this. It could take you longer, it could take you shorter, but it's an initial way to, if you want something to occur for you in your life, you need to put thought into it, put intention into it, speak it, write it, and then once it's out there in front of you, it's like, oh, okay, I can like consciously maybe go towards that. And so this is that step that does it. And yeah.
It begins the manifestation.
It does, yeah. It's magical. It's really, really cool. And if you ever have any questions or anything, obviously holler at us. But this is really cool stuff. We're happy to share it with you.
So you'll have to excuse my poor handwriting.
And the crinkly piece of paper that we
Scrap
have.
paper we're reusing.
We just used some scrap paper that we had.
But wanted to show you because I'm a visual learner. It makes it a lot easier if I get to see it. So I'm going to have you walk us through the layout, and I'll try to show it
Shall I
to the camera.
zoom in a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the practice that I call the 10 life aspects. I've adapted it a bit since the way that I've learned it and just been using it with my clients. And it's looking at your whole life in 10 total life aspects, and then thinking about each of those areas in a way that gives you clarity of where you are now, and therefore gives you a chance to think about where do you want to be with those things. And so there's it's a grid paper. There's 10 rows coming down, and then there's 3 columns that you fill in.
And you can do this as an individual. You can do this as a couple. You can do this as a whole family, and everybody can compare sheets together.
Yeah, and there's different ways to do it. So if you have questions on what might be the best, we're happy to chat. So back to the document. So at the top you have the life aspect, then you have your place of joy, and then you have your place of challenge.
These are current places of joy and current places of challenge.
Yeah. So then what you want to do is, and then you have the final column, which I'll get to in a second. But you want to go through and fill out those first two columns. So just think about the first life aspect, which I believe is, what is that?
Family.
Family. So you think about where are you with your family that feels really good, and where are you with your family that feels so challenging for you. And so it's honoring the kind of the gold, as it's often called, and honoring kind of the shadow, right? So kind of the dark and the light.
I've
So-
also called it roses and thorns.
Roses and thorns. There's so many, words
You
that
get it.
good and bad, but those are words that we like to stay away from because it's judging. So for a family, you can just be like, oh well, I feel really good. I get to travel around the world with, my children and my wife, and I'm in love, and everything's really great. And my place of challenges, just learning to be a dad and the developmental stages of kids and
Being patient.
and all that stuff, right? So you can just go with that, and then you go down the line, and
The next one is love, sex, and relationships.
very important. They're all important. The next
Work.
one is work. Then we have personal growth. I'm reading these backwards to the page.
Health.
Then health. Then community. Then spirit. You can think of this however you want. It can just mean your connection to the universe. It could mean your spiritual practice. It could mean your religious practice. Then you have
Recreation.
recreation, which is fun. You got to be mindful of that. Your wealth, which is the money that makes things happen, and then your living environment, just like what do you walk into every day when you come home, or what do you walk out to when you leave your door, or what is your commute like when you go to work? Like, what are those environments that you're in, because that will influence so much. And another thing I want to say about environment also includes people, right? So a brilliant thing that I once came across that really changed the way that I view things was that somebody said you're the average of the 5 people closest to you, right? So if the 5 people closest to you are into surfing, then you're probably gonna surf. If the 5 people closest to you are really into board games, you're probably gonna play some board games. And it just goes from there, right? So who are those five closest people to you, and what kind of energy are they bringing to your living environment? So think about that one. So anyways, you list down all of them along the left-hand side. Then you have the 2 columns. You put in your place of joy, you put in your place of challenge, and then you go down. If you're doing this with a partner, you can each do that piece and then come back together to the top. That's what Erin and I did. And then the final column, which is called your keywords or your intention for 2018. And so looking at your place of joy, looking at your place of challenge, where do you see yourself wanting to be next? So this is not about the BHAG, right? The big, hairy, audacious goal. So you can't say, oh, I want a 6-pack and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger by the end of the year. That's not the point. The point is, okay, for health, I want to lose 5 pounds, right? So it can be incremental. I actually don't only do this on New Year's. I do this almost every quarter, sometimes every 2 months, because life changes so dramatically, and I want to go back and check into it and say, I feel like all this is kind of good. I want to go next. And so you can do this as many times as you want. Of course, you want to keep it achievable, not necessarily limit yourself, but just keep it as something that's like, this is the next step, not 10 steps from now. So you want to put your intentions for each of those things, and a couple keywords, right? So you want to put like more present, or powerful energy, or strong body, or fit and slim, or show me the money, connected, all of those words. So you want to have like keywords. You can put bullet points sometimes if you have a couple different ideas, and then pick one or combine them. And it's really fun.
1 or 2 keywords for each of my different buckets.
Yeah, exactly. So for each bucket, you use bullet points inside each of these, because some of them can be a lot of things, some of them can be a few. And then so then you go through all the way down, and then you look at your 10 life aspects, and you say, okay, well, for my wealth, this is my intention. I want to be, a master marketer, or I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to be getting an amazing appraisal, whatever that word might be for you. And then for health, for work, for spirit, for personal growth, I want to be intentional. That's a great one. I really, really believe in intention. you go down, and now you have something that you just put thought and energy and some intention into, and now something can occur from there. So the next step after you do this piece is then your practice, right? So you have to practice it. So one of the things that we did was we just took a photo of our whole sheet on our phone, and we do a daily practice called a 5-breath practice. We should make a video about that.
We'll make a video about it.
Yeah, it's another amazing
It's also
one.
in my book.
Yeah, exactly. But it's called a 5-breath practice, and I do it every morning. We both do. Sometimes we do together, sometimes individually. Something we do in the morning, then again at night, just to feel more connected. But it's our kind of like way of coming together and creating intentional and connected space with each other. And so with that, part of that practice can also be looking at, all right, well, where am I doing, or what are the 10 life aspects? So you can look at it that way. And another thing that you can do is also take a look at all 10 keywords, to give me more than 10 words, but the keywords for all 10 aspects, and say, what are the themes here? Right? Do you want to share our themes?
Theme? Yeah, so for me, my
Okay, we're gonna
big
share.
theme for 2018 is level up.
Yeah.
How am I leveling up? How am I stepping into the next thing, and all those aspects that are there for me.
Which a lot of it, also comes from just recently having birthed a child and being in mom mode, right?
Two children.
Two children, right? Yeah, pretty close to each other. But then now leveling up into all those life aspects to be more full around all of those
How
things.
do I integrate all of me and not just mom?
Yeah. And then
Mom's awesome though.
Mom, anyways, and then for me, when I look through everything that I had, it was really about being in my power, and that means just being intentional with my language, with my actions. I'm kind of getting the dad bod, which is kind of what happens when you're a dad, and you're traveling around all the time, don't have access to a gym, but that's not an excuse. That's just something that I need to work through. So feeling powerful, thinking powerfully. I'm learning a lot of new skill sets that I want to become more powerful in the work that we do and the way that we can reach people. And so my word is powerful. And even today I had to think, okay, the kids are napping right now. And I'm like, should I take a nap? Or should I, go do some yoga? And they're like, well, yoga's gonna make me feel more powerful. And sometimes a nap will make me feel more powerful. So it's just being real with myself and kind of using that as a way to discern actions that I take every day to make sure that they're aligned. Also, one thing that I learned, this is from Brendan Burchard. If you guys don't follow him, he's awesome. He has a great video that maybe we'll share in the comments around how to set a really great intention for the new year. And one of the things he says is the reason that intentions kind of take off and then go down is that it just feels like a routine. So you want to have a word when you do the activity that like ties the activity back to the outcome that you want, right? So if I just did yoga instead of napping, after a while I'll just kind of be like, I've been doing a lot of yoga, I'm just gonna take a nap. But during my yoga, after my yoga, I said if I kind of connect with that word powerful, I'm gonna feel powerful when I do yoga. Now yoga is associated with being powerful. Powerful is what I want, so I'm gonna be more attracted to yoga, right? It's amazing just how much of it is in here. And languaging and tools like this are just the key to literally being able to do anything. So I hope that helps. I hope you guys do it. Let us know how it works. Let us know if you tried it.
Let us know if you alter it to be more of something that fits your lifestyle or what you're looking for. But here's one tool that we're inviting you to, and I hope it's really helpful as you lay out your 2018 intentions and start bringing that magic into your life in ways that you really desire.
Absolutely. Every powerful person that I know does something like this. And so we hope that if you're doing something like this, it adjusts it, or if you haven't done anything like this before, you begin to see the amazing magic that can come out of it. So we love you guys. Thanks for checking in on this, and I can't wait to hear what kind of impact this might have for you in 2018 and making it the best year yet. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye, guys.